Thank you for checking out this little teaser of the history of the papacy and church. Here's a little taste of what's coming up soon on the History of the Papacy podcast. Now, if you like what you hear, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. If you want to support the podcast even more, consider becoming a Patreon on patreon.com/history of the papacy. There are many levels and benefits for you, and you help keep the history of the papacy going. You can learn more about all of this at historyofthepapacypodcast.com. With that, here's another piece of the mosaic of the popes of Rome and Christian church, and I will definitely be talking to you more soon.
The men, as I've mentioned, tend to have this long hair that we're told that they washed their hair with lime and would style it by combing it straight back from their forehead towards the back of the neck. So this kind of long, just combed back hair with these long mustaches. They sometimes mention that, the food would get stuck in their mustaches and they were totally fine with that. So you can see from sculpture in Scotland that the higher status figures on some of the sculpture is those that has the longer hair, the bigger mustache. So kind of the long-haired guys are the important guys. They get the fancier clothing and the better arms and armor on the sculpture, which is, I think, quite amusing. They're described as rather, large people, and that the women would stand right next to the men in battle, that they would wear colorful clothing and would adorn themselves with gold, lots of gold, and that they would wear trousers and tunics, and even the women wore trousers and tunics.
It's interesting. I don't know where I read this. I'll have to go back and look, but I believe that something that the Celts or those groups invented trousers or pants.
I've heard that, but I've not seen the evidence for it.